Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the powerful, specialized infrastructure that's, quietly fueling this whole AI gold rush.
So, what's the biggest bottleneck in this whole AI gold rush? You might think it's a lack of ideas, right? Or maybe not enough smart people. But no, it's actually getting your hands on the right tools. We're talking about the digital pickaxes and shovels you need to actually mine for that AI gold.
And that gets us to the heart of the problem, really. You've got this insane, soaring demand for generative AI. I mean, it's just off the charts. But the supply of the special computers you need to run it, it's stretched thin, it's crazy expensive, and good luck getting access to it quickly.
All right, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dig into that computing crisis. Then, we'll answer the big question, what are Neoclouds? We'll look at the big players, see how they're changing the game, and wrap up with what this all means for the future. Okay, so let's start with section 1, the AI computing crisis. This is the core problem, right? You've got this huge gap between what everyone wants to do with AI and the actual available power to do it. And that gap, well, that's where our story really begins. So a crisis like that, it always creates an opportunity. And that brings us to section 2. What are Neoclouds? This is the solution. Let's meet the hero of our story, a whole new kind of cloud company built for right now. All right, so what exactly is a Neocloud? Well, think of it as a cloud provider that's totally specialized. It's built from the ground up for one thing and one thing only, providing the GPU power that AI needs. Here's a good way to think about it. If the big traditional cloud companies are like a giant Walmart that sells everything, a Neocloud is like a high-end specialty store that only sells the absolute best pickaxes and shovels for the gold rush. And this is where it gets really interesting. Look at the price difference. For the exact same high-end GPU, a traditional hyperscaler might charge you, say, $98 an hour. But on a Neocloud, that price drops all the way down to $34. That's a huge deal. So yeah, let's just let that sink in. We're talking about a potential cost saving of up to 66%. This isn't just trimming a little off the bill. This is a complete game changer for anyone trying to build AI at scale. So how do they do it? Well, it really boils down to 5 key things. First, they're obsessed with specialized hardware, the latest NVIDIA GPUs, the fastest networking. Second, their architecture is AI first. It wasn't adapted from something else, it was built for this from day one. Third, you get rapid deployment. We're talking days or weeks, not months. Fourth, all of this leads to major cost efficiency. And finally, you get transparent pricing. No more trying to figure out a million different fees. It's just a simple hourly rate. Okay, so now we know what Neoclouds are and why they're so powerful. Let's get into section 3 and meet the companies that are actually building this new world, the titans of the Neocloud. And when you talk about Neoclouds, one name comes up again and again: CoreWeave. I mean, just look at this growth. It's incredible. They started out in 2017 mining crypto. By 2022, they're at 16 million in revenue. Fine. But by 2025, they're projected to hit over 5 billion. And by 2028, we could be looking at the mid-20 billions. That is just explosive. So what's behind that explosive growth? Well, look at the scale of their operation. They're the undisputed leader right now. They've got over 7 billion in funding. Their client list? Oh, just, Microsoft, OpenAI, Meta, no big deal. They locked in a contract with OpenAI worth over $22 billion. And they're building data centers like crazy, from just 3 in 2022 to 33 by 2025. Just wow. But hey, CoreWeave isn't the only player in town. This isn't a one-company show. There's a whole ecosystem of these specialists popping up, and they each have their own unique angle on this. And I mean, their approaches are really different and really smart. Take Crusoe Energy. They're positioning themselves as an AI factory that's also good for the planet, using energy that would otherwise be wasted. Pretty cool, right? And then you've got a company like Nebius, who's carving out a super important niche in Europe. They help companies follow all the strict EU data rules while still getting their hands on the best American hardware. That's a huge problem they're solving. So you've got all these new, powerful specialists jumping into the mix. What does that do to the bigger picture? That's what we're going to talk about in section 4, the new cloud landscape. How is this shaking up the entire market? And let me be clear, this is not some small niche market. We are talking about a seismic shift. The forecasts? They're projecting this space to be worth nearly $180 billion by 2030. That's not a trend. That's a whole new industry being born right in front of our eyes.
This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? Your traditional hyperscalers, they're trying to be everything to everyone. Their pricing is complex, layered, you need a PhD to figure out your bill sometimes. But Neoclouds, they are laser-focused. They do one thing, specialized, high-density GPU as a service. Their pricing is simple, their whole reason for being is speed, cost, and in some cases, data sovereignty.
And it's not just startups and AI labs paying attention. The big companies, the enterprises, they're all over this. Look at these numbers. A quarter of them are already using Neoclouds extensively. Another third are actively testing them out, and another 21% plan to jump in within the next 6 months. You add that all up, and that's over 80% of enterprises that are already on this train. The shift is happening, and it's happening fast.
Okay, so the adoption is happening fast. That begs the question, what do you do about it? What's the right strategy? And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, the AI infrastructure future. Let's tie this all together.
Now, the path forward isn't all smooth sailing. There are some massive opportunities here for sure. Things like edge computing and sovereign AI are huge. But there are also some serious challenges. You've got supply chain issues, you need a ton of money to build this stuff, and yeah, the big hyperscalers are starting to fight back. It's going to be a battle.
So what's the playbook here? What should you actually do? The big takeaway is this. This is not an either-or choice. The smartest move is a hybrid strategy. You use both. Keep the hyperscalers for their safety and broad services, but leverage the Neoclouds for their speed and cost on those really intensive AI training jobs. And of course, make sure you have the right tools in place to manage this whole new mixed environment. You know, there's a great quote that really sums this up. It says, "The Neocloud phenomenon is creating a new specialized tier in cloud computing architecture." And that's exactly what it is. It's not just another option, it's a whole new essential layer of the cloud built specifically for AI.
And at the end of the day, this isn't just a tech conversation about servers and GPUs. This is about the foundation of business for the next 10, 20 years. The future is being built on AI, and this is the infrastructure that's going to hold it all up.
So that really leaves us with one final critical question. The next decade is going to be built on this new AI foundation. The real question is your strategy ready for it?